Hi there, welcome to my channel and welcome to the future of our economy. It's called the bioeconomy, a system designed to save the climate, not destroy it. But right now, this revolution is facing a massive identity crisis. Let's dive deep and expose the difference between a real solution and a greenwash. This identity crisis is not accidental, it's philosophical. The bioeconomy is currently caught in four major tensions that we need to understand to spot the fake. The first conflict, the growth versus degrowth dogma. Can we save the planet while promising endless economic expansion? The current inconsistency between policy and reality strongly suggests we cannot. The second tension is about diverging interpretations. Is the bioeconomy about extractive industrial mega projects, or is it about regenerative practices that truly restore? We must choose which definition we follow. Third, exclusion of perspectives. When major decisions are made without including indigenous and local voices, the true experts, we only guarantee biased and destructive solutions. This lack of inclusion is a massive flaw. And finally, the one thing all sides agree on, the universal fact of planetary limits. Our entire business-as-usual model has depleted our ecological limits. Any legitimate bioeconomy must begin by acknowledging this hard truth. Let's see the bioeconomy land trap. The image on the top, vast fields of industrial monoculture, whether for biofuel or commodities, is the extractive interpretation in action. They deplete soil health, destroy local ecosystems, and still require massive fossil fuel-based inputs like fertilizers. They are simply industrial agriculture in a green disguise. Now look below. This is regenerative agroforestry. It's the true bioeconomy. By mimicking nature's diversity, these systems increase biodiversity by up to 300% and build soil carbon, a critical climate buffer. This is proof that restoration is more profitable than extraction in the long term. And who are the best practitioners of this model? The guardians of the forest. If the land is caught in a trap, the oceans are facing a global grab. The same extractive philosophy that justifies monoculture is applied ruthlessly to our blue resources. The blue bioeconomy often means massive unregulated industrial fishing, destructive nets harvesting juvenile fish, prioritizing short-term profit over our ocean's health. It's unsustainable. The hard truth is that this depleted nature, relying on isolated, unreliable fishing grounds, will not sustain our global food supply long term. The grab today guarantees hunger tomorrow. This pressure creates a domino effect everywhere, from deep seas to local rivers. When aquatic resources collapse, communities are forced to hunt land fauna, destroying all biodiversity just to survive. The only way out is a sustained blue circularity. This requires robust regulations and prioritizing small-scale fisheries. But to truly save the bioeconomy, we need to talk about who enforces the rules. This leads us to the Guardian's challenge. Inclusion is conservation. The only way to find a genuinely regenerative bioeconomy is through radical inclusion of voices who live with nature. Indigenous peoples and local communities are proven to be the most effective land and sea stewards globally. However, being a guardian is not immunity. When external pressures or resource scarcity cause traditional livelihoods to collapse, even local practices can become destructive. The truth is, knowledge without stability fails. The value of their knowledge lies in the long-term management protocols that prioritize resilience over profit. The bioeconomy must learn to empower these stewards and not just use their land. After dissecting these challenges, from corporate grabs to flawed inclusion, we arrived at the convergence point. This is the universal fact that cuts through all the politics and the greenwash. The reason all extractive models fail is simple. We have exhausted the planet's capacity to absorb our waste and provide our resources. The planet's accounting book is now in the red. This is the hardest truth that every global policy must address. The real tension is no longer between green growth and degrowth. It's between growth and survival. Any bioeconomy that doesn't fully respect these planetary limits is not a revolution. It is simply business as usual, leading us directly to ecological collapse. Now that we know what business as usual is doing, we can define the real bioeconomy, the one that starts with respecting planetary limits. The genuine movement has three core principles. Principle number 1, regeneration and ecological restoration. The goal is not merely sustainable yield, it's actively restoring the health of our ecosystems. This is where agroforestry and true soil health thrive. The second principle is local stewards' resilience and empowerment. Shifting power ensures resource management is based on long-term stability against shocks, not short-term market profit. This is the human dimension. And third, truly circular systems. We must eliminate waste and maximize the value of every resource, from land to sea. The ultimate test is simple. Any practice labeled bioeconomy must actively increase ecosystem health and biodiversity, not just slow its decline. If the bioeconomy is to be based on regeneration and resilience, the corporate accountability must be absolute. We must demand proof that the principles are being followed. This means supply chain traceability with full visibility of every single resource used. No more vague promises. It requires regeneration proof, where companies must actively document and verify that they are creating a positive impact on soil health or marine life, not just aiming to be less bad than the old model. And finally, commitment to local stewards, meaning fair partnerships and demonstrable benefit sharing with the communities on the ground and at sea. Ambition without accountability is just greenwashing. Remember, our decision to buy is our power. We can and we must demand this proof. It is the most immediate form of enforcement available to us. We know what the real bioeconomy looks like. We know what to demand from corporations. But the biggest barrier remains the system itself. This is the final test, the enforcement gap. The ambition is there. Many policy efforts set high goals, but the global lack of binding standards and legal penalties allows the business-as-usual model to continue its destructive habits. The enforcement gap means accountability relies solely on voluntary compliance, and history shows that fails every time profits are at stake. We cannot solve a crisis of planetary limits with good intentions alone. This leads us directly to the next challenge. We must demand that our governments bridge this gap and make regeneration a legal obligation, not an option. Thank you very much. Throughout this video, we've defined the identity crisis of the bioeconomy and concluded that the next challenge is demanding enforcement. If you believe, like us, that regeneration must be a legal obligation, not an option, then subscribe to our channel. And stay tuned for the next video where we will analyze how policy and citizen action can bridge the enforcement gap and save the bioeconomy. See you next time. Bye!